Howdy! This video will focus on another single variable equation, the standard form of an equation, and some two variable equation examples. For our recap of the last video, let's solve this equation for y. Given 5v plus 7 minus 4v minus 11 equals 156, let's solve for y. So, we're given 5v plus 7 minus 4v minus 11 equals 156. Let's first ask ourselves, are there any parentheses? There aren't, so let's move on to the next rule. Are there any fractions? No, so moving on again. Are there any like terms on the same side of the equal sign? Yes, there is. We have 5v and negative 4v, which are the same, like terms, and 7 and negative 11, which have the same like terms. Okay, so let's go ahead and combine these like terms. So 5 minus 4 equals 1. So 5v minus 4v equals v. Now we have 7 minus 11. So pretty much we're going to have 11 minus 7, which equals 4. But since negative 11 is the larger integer, we're going to have negative 4 equals 156. Step 4 is the variable on both sides of the equal sign. There is not two of the same variables on opposite sides, so let's skip that step. Is anything being added or subtracted to the variable? Yes, there is. We have negative 4 being subtracted from the variable. Let's go ahead and add plus 4 to both sides. And that gives us our answer. V equals 160. Step 6, which you don't have to follow, is anything multiplying or dividing the variable? Which there isn't, so we can just skip that step. So our answer, our solution, is V equals 160. We will often see the standard form of an equation later on in Algebra 2, such as in conics and matrices. And we see it a lot when tasked with solving for y. The standard form of an equation looks like ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are just integers. In order to find the x-intercept, we take our c and divide it by a. So c divided by a. Alright. To find our y-intercept, we take our c and divide it by b. Last but not least, to find our slope, taking a and dividing it by b. Okay? So then, that's pretty much how you find your x and y and intercept and slope from our standard form of an equation. Moving on to two variable examples, we have negative 3 times 2 plus x plus 3y equals 9. And example 2, 3 times 2 plus x minus 4y equals 9 plus 2y. Let's go ahead and work through these examples. Let's go through example number 1. We're first going to distribute through the parentheses. So let's take this negative 3, distribute it to the 2 and the x. So what is negative 3 times 2? Simply, it's just negative 6. And then, what's negative 3 times x? It's just negative 3x. And then we have plus 3y equals 9. Now, let's combine our constants, let's combine our like terms on both sides, which we don't have, so let's just move that down. And then now we need to add or subtract our variables to the opposite sides of the equation using the inverse operation. So let's take our negative 6 and add plus 6 to both sides. And then we're solving for y, so we need to keep y by itself and move 3x over, so add 3x to both sides. So that gives us 3y, since 6 cancels and 3x cancels, equals 15 plus 3x. Now, we need to perform the inverse operation to get y by itself. So we need to divide by 3 on both sides. So then that will give us y equals 5 plus x. And I like to see it like x plus 5. I'm sure y'all do as well. Largest variable first. And there's our solution. And remember, we're not going to focus on writing your answer as a sentence until we get to word problems. Okay, so example 2. Let's distribute through the parentheses. So 3 times 2 and 3 times x. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times x is 3x. Minus 4y equals 9 plus 2y. Now we need to combine our constant-like terms, that are on the same side, which we don't have. So let's just write this down here. 6 plus 3x minus 4y equals 9 plus 2y. Okay, now we need to add and subtract our variables to opposite sides of the equation. So we are going to, we want y by itself, so we need our 6 and our 3x over here. So let's go ahead, and we also need our 2y over here. Let's go ahead and subtract 6, subtract 3x, and subtract our 2y. So we're going to do it to both sides. Okay, now the 6's cancel, the 3x's cancel, and the 2y's cancel. So what is negative 4 minus 2? That's 6. Well, it's negative 6. So we're going to have negative 6y equals 9 minus 6 is 3 minus 3x. Okay. Now we need to perform the inverse operation to get y by itself, because the 6 is being multiplied to the y. So let's take our negative 6 and divide negative 6 out by both sides. So that's going to give us y, because the 6's cancel, equals 3 divided by negative 6, it's negative 1/2. And then plus, because the negative divided by negative is a positive, 1/2 x. And we like to see it 1/2 x minus 1/2. There's our solution. One more two-variable example. Let's go through this real quick. Let's go ahead and ask ourselves, are there any parentheses? Yes, there are. So let's distribute. So we have 6 times negative 4 plus 10x minus 5y equals 301. So let's distribute these. So 6 times negative 4, that's negative 24. 6 times 10 is 60, so 6 times 10x is 60x minus 5y equals 301. Okay, then ask ourselves, are there any fractions? There aren't. Moving on. Are there like terms on the same side of the equal sign? No, there isn't. Moving on. Is the variable on both sides of the equal sign? No, there isn't. So let's skip that step. Is anything being added or subtracted to the variable that we're solving for? Yes, we have negative 24 and positive 60. So we need to move those over to the other side using our inverse operation. So let's add 24 to both sides and subtract 60x from both sides. So that's going to give us minus 5y equals 325 minus 60x. Now, is anything being multiplied or divided by the variable? Yes, negative 5. So let's divide that negative 5 out. So then, that's going to cancel, so we're just left with y equals 325 divided by negative 5 is negative 65 minus let's see, so negative 60 divided by negative 5, that's positive, so we're going to have a positive 12x. So there's our solution, and we like to see it in proper form, so 12x minus 65. There's our solution. Alright. Now, standard form of equation, let's find our x-intercept, y-intercept, and our slope, and then graph. So given x plus 2y equals 6, let's determine those. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. To find our x-intercept, we have C divided by A y-intercept, we have c divided by b, and our slope, we have negative a divided by b. So c divided by a is 6 divided by 1 equals 6. And then we have c divided by b, so 6 divided by 2 equals 3. And last, negative a, so negative 1 divided by b, which is 2, equals negative 1/2 as our slope. So let's go ahead and plot our points. So the the x-intercept is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Y-intercept is 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's connect our dots. And let's double check our slope is correct. So we're going left 2 and up 1. So rise over run, we go 1 up and left 2. We're going left because it's negative, so our slope is correct. Okay, so that's all, folks. Remember to take your notes. I'll be grading those tomorrow or in class, whenever you get in class, and see y'all there.